All right, family, it's your brother Assad, and I'm back again with another quick video. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so that you'll be notified when we drop new material on this channel. Secondly, in terms of housekeeping, we got to give a special and a significant and a particular and a peculiar type of love to our South African family for all the love you guys have shown this channel, myself, my wife, my children, even my friends, right? We greatly appreciate it. Third, and KZN, stand up. Third, in terms of housekeeping, KZN, stand up. Bam, bam, bam. Fourth, please remember this Saturday, 6 p.m. South African time, we will have a special Zoom call with Philip. I do not want to mispronounce the brother's name, so I'm just calling him Brother Phil, who is the CEO of an organization that is dedicated to business opportunities for South Africans and exploring the different industries in South Africa. And he will help us identify where South Africans and African Americans can find intersection and connectivity and network in order to capitalize on those business industries in order to use the maybe the wealth from the U.S. and the ingenuity from S.A. or the ingenuity from the USA and the wealth of S.A. to come together and get ourselves involved in some businesses that will change not only our lives but the lives of our dependents and descendants, right? So that's Saturday. I will leave the link. I will leave the link for the Zoom call in the description of this video. Now, where is my wife, Adrian? She right there in the next room. She is filling out applications for the visas, student visas for the kids, because I have to leave on Monday and head back to Washington, D.C., because I have an appointment at the embassy on Tuesday to drop off the children's visa, right? The children's, not the visa, but to drop off the application for the visa, right? So, and y'all, like, Brother Asai be wearing that same red shirt. I've been working out. It's my workout clothes. I'm trying to get fine for the summertime. But it's wintertime in SA though, right? It's wintertime right now. It's summertime here. It's burning up. It's hot. Yeah, it's burning up hot. So I've been working out and lifting weights and running, and drinking water and everything, trying to get right. So these are my workout clothes. So I was, I come in and I'm inspired to do a video, so I decided to sit down and do a video, and I ain't put on no fresh polo or nothing like that. So, y'all bear with your brother. Bear with your brother. All right. So I wanted to talk briefly, about, somebody brought something to me, and I really wasn't going to address it and but I wanted to say this. There's this idea that somehow by Black Americans moving to SA, that we are not really choosing to move to the real Africa. You know, that we are somehow choosing the safe place in terms of, oh, they got everything, the infrastructure, the United States of Africa over there. Let's see. And I think even the language that was used was like, Black Americans that weak that they have to have a ease of transition. This is what was brought to me. And I thought to myself, man, that's a very interesting position and proposition. Very interesting position and proposition. And so then the cultural expert, right, the PhD cultural expert, studied cultural anthropology and cognitive behavioral therapy, Dr. Assad began to examine the statement, begin to assess the statement in several ways in order to really digest and then redirect. Cultural buffering is the practice by which an individual will leave one cultural arena and seek out individuals or a group in a different cultural arena with very similar or the same ethics and aesthetics from their original cultural arena. Now, what am I talking about? A cultural arena is an axiological paradigm that defines ethics and aesthetics. Ethics and aesthetics. It defines what is ethical and unethical, what is normal, what is abnormal, what is acceptable, what is unacceptable, what is attractive, what is unattractive. Each of us are born into a cultural arena, right? The United States is one major, mega cultural arena. But I was born in Louisiana in a little city called New Orleans, and that is my most pressing and immediate cultural arena, right? So here's the deal. Dancing in the street when someone dies is acceptable in New Orleans. When our loved ones die, part of our cultural and our cultural arena, which defines what is acceptable, what is unacceptable, dancing in the street when someone dies is acceptable. It is part of our cultural traditions. You go one state over to Mississippi, they don't dance in the street when people die. It's not acceptable there. But my cultural arena makes it acceptable. So when Katrina happens and Black New Orleanians are spread throughout the nation, why did we end up in the same communities? Right? We moved to Houston. Not only did we live in Houston, but a whole bunch of people from New Orleans moved to Houston and all lived in the same area. Why? Because it's cultural buffering. We are trying to find similar or the same cultural groups where the practices that are acceptable remain acceptable amongst this group. This is what immigrants have done since the beginning of time. In New Orleans or Miss Jackson, Mississippi, they may not have a big Hispanic population, right? They may only have a whole bunch of people from Guatemala. They may have 10,000 people. I'm just making this number up. They may have 10,000 people from Guatemala that live in Jackson, Mississippi. But I'm from Honduras, right? And I have to move to Jackson, Mississippi for whatever reason. When I moved to Jackson, Mississippi, I'm from Honduras. They have 10,000 Guatemalans. Guess who I'm about to be with? Guatemala and Honduras are really different in many, many ways. However, when I get to Jackson, Mississippi, I'm going to be hanging with folk from Guatemala because I'm from Honduras. At least we speak the same language. We might have some similar foods. So they come from a similar cultural arena that I come from. So they're going to be able to be a buffer for this major transition that's taking place. Me moving from Honduras to Jackson, Mississippi. I need to find some folk in Jackson, Mississippi who look, act, think, and have cultural practices at least similar to mine. This is the practice that takes place with immigrants all over the world. All over the world. Right? And we see it on both large scale and we see it on small scale, right? It's the reason why black folk move to certain communities and start looking for other black people. And when you don't see no whole lot of black people, when you move to somewhere in North Dakota and you don't see no whole bunch of black people, you find that one black dude, y'all stick tight. Y'all get to being cool. Huh? Right? Because you think at some point his cultural ethics, his ethics and his aesthetics will at some point match yours. It may not always work out like that, right? Right? But that's what we seek out, right? When you take black Americans and you put them, I've been in places, I was in Morocco with my wife and children. And I saw these young black girls coming. We were at some type of palace or something like that. It's like a historical palace, taking pictures. I don't know where it was at. And these young sisters came in, and when I heard their accent, I said, "Oh, y'all from the U.S.?" "Oh, yeah, we from the U.S." Blah, 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 blah. Whoop de whoop, right? Instantaneously, we on another part of the world. We instantly talked and communed. There was another time in Morocco where there was a lady who was just a YouTube person, not a YouTuber, Instagram. She had Instagram when she was traveling, and we ended up seeing her out eating with her. She's a black lady from the U.S. With her family, and we ended up sitting down talking with her because there's this cultural connectivity there, right? So why South Africa? For black Americans like myself, right? It is the biggest cultural buffer that you can find on the continent. The biggest. They still speak it, or not they still speak English. They speak English, right? They are familiar with black American culture, right? They listen to the music that we listen to, even if they have piano or they have their house music or other. They still know Beyonce and Drake and all of the music that we listen to, right? They are the most similar, and it's the strangest thing because our ancestors come from Ghana and Nigeria and Senegal and the Congo and Angola, but the most similar cultural group on the continent of Africa are South Africans. Therefore, if I want to be in this new cultural paradigm called the continent of Africa, or if I just want to be on the continent of Africa, I need to find the group that is going to be the same or similar to the group in which I am leaving, the cultural arena in which I am leaving, and that is South Africa. And just in very real terms, I need Wi-Fi. Yeah, I need access to Wi-Fi and broadband high-speed internet. Not saying that South Africa is the only place that has it. I'm saying that South Africa has so much of it. I think Egypt is working with something too, right? But South Africa has much of it. They have the infrastructure. They have the processes. Lord have mercy. Sorry, but they have the processes and the infrastructure and the procedural um, 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 practices that I am used to. I don't have to go into a store and ask the man how much this bottle of water costs. And he hears my American accent, and instead of charging me, 15 rand for it, he's charging me 30 rand for it. Right? Right? You know why? Because the prices are already on the thing when you go into the store. Because that's what we're used to in the US. Right? It just makes the transition easier. And that's not about being weak. It's really about an intelligent move. I'm not finna leave New Orleans where I'm doing well. My wife and I are doing well here. And go anywhere and face any type of struggle. For what? Black people in the United States have struggled enough. We have struggled enough. Our big mamas and granddaddies and papas, all them people that struggled. What I gotta inherit some more struggle for? What I'm gonna go, not even inherit, what I'm gonna go out and look for some more struggle for? Huh? That makes sense to you? It don't make sense to me. I'm not finna go out and investigate some more struggle. No, 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 no. If I want to do that, I'll just quit my job here and just inherit all the struggle right here in the United States and don't have access to the stuff I need. No, I got a lifestyle that I gotta maintain. I got things that I like to do and enjoy. I got a level of life that I have produced for myself based on the work that I have put in. And South Africa affords me the opportunity to maintain that lifestyle. I ain't broke here and I ain't finna leave and go nowhere and be broke. I ain't struggling here and I ain't finna leave and go nowhere and be struggling. I ain't missing out on no lights here and I ain't finna go nowhere and miss out on no lights. Yeah, I ain't missing out on infrastructure here, and I'm not finna leave and go and miss out on infrastructure. So you could save your critiques and your ideas for someone with a GED. Because I have sense enough to know that the move that's going to be best for us is a move that who want to say, instead of the ease of transition, who wants to say, man, I want the hardest transition possible? Well, where can I find the hard transition? I want to make this hard. You know, that's silly. Yeah, that's silly. Real silly. So I'll leave that there. I also heard some stuff on the net about should African nations pay reparations to Black Americans. And I thought that was a very interesting proposition. Very interesting proposition. Until you realize that places like Ghana and Nigeria and the Congo and Angola, all them places brand new. Yeah, they are the results of colonial land division. White people created them places, created them borders. Yeah, those nations that exist were not. You can't look at modern Ghana and say that they are responsible for a slave trade, because modern Ghana just is 50 years old at the most, 60. I don't know. Just the first president of Ghana is Kwame and Nkrumah, right? And we got pictures and everything of him. Yeah, he ain't no 200 years ago. No, he pledged Phi Beta Sigma. Yeah, yeah. Phi Beta Sigma ain't 200 years old. Yeah, he a Sigma. Yeah, so the whole idea that we gonna somehow take these modern nation states and hold them accountable when we have a continuous empire, a continuous country since 1776 at least, right? That 1776 that has maintained its supremacy, its power, its wealth through the extraction of Black labor right here in the United States. How does it become the richest nation on earth? Black wealth. I mean, Black labor. Free Black labor. Right? So why I'm finna go jump over there to Ghana? I want to talk to Joe Biden. Yeah, I want to talk to Joe Biden. I want to talk to them people, the people that and then we still paying taxes? No, man, we need to go on. Your reparations fight is here. Now, your reparations fight may also be with Spain or France, right? Because those nations existed during the slave trade. France existed during the slave trade. Spain existed during the slave trade, right? So we could have a legitimate gripe with these continuous nations, but some brand new nations? Huh? Now we know places like the Oyo Empire, OYO, right, benefited greatly from the slave trade. We don't sugarcoat history to absolve Black people just because they Black. No, there was some Africans who participated in the slave trade. But to hold those new nations responsible for them is a bit of a stretch, right? Is a bit of a stretch. Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. You can't do that. These brand new nations on planet Earth, right? Who were formed and had no responsibility, right? For the nation itself had no responsibility for the slave trade. So I just think that's a hard argument to make. The people that are responsible is Uncle Sam, right? That's who owe us a check, right? Whether we gonna get it or not is a whole different conversation. But they definitely owe us a check. Big facts. So that's 20 minutes, 19 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'll just say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be back Saturday at 6 p.m. Make sure y'all there. Peace.